Hey guys, what's cracking? Godsman here, coming at you with another installment of the custom card review series. We're on to episode 3 of this latest season, and episode 1 started off really well, and then episode 2 is a little bit more of a mixed result, but still some pretty interesting ideas all around, and I think y'all don't lack for creativity. And for some of the folks who are sticking more to the traditional themes, I think those actually did pretty well most of the time, so I thought that was pretty cool. I'm super excited to get on to this next one, and we're starting off with the classic royals again, it looks like. We got Alfred Early D series. Keter Sanctuary, Royal Paladin, right, okay, usual stuff. Auto, when this unit is rode upon, if you have a unit with Blaster Blade in your soul, call it to rear circle and soul charge 1, okay, so this is a grade 3. It doesn't say it, but it should be a grade 3 because of its power line, right? Weird. Auto, after this unit attacks, which should probably say at the end of the battle, right? If you have a different card with Alfred or Blaster in their card names in your hand, Energy Blast 3, and ride the unit is stand with drive -1. You may not activate any of the ride from hand skill to... Oh, interesting. So he actually kind of saves it, not gonna lie, because this felt a little bit weird at first, but now this actually seems kind of cool. So when it attacks, so you can ride this as a Vanguard. And then afterwards, what you do is you're able to do a superior ride from the hand, which I love those. I always did love those. I'm a sucker for them. You get to you get to multi-attack for EB5, which is a very expensive cost. And well, I do dig the idea of that, and also sort of like a Die Kaiser and V series skill where you can call it from the soul to the rear circle for even more multi-attack. I do like that. There are a couple of conflicting elements though that makes me turn away from this. One is because you're energy blasting 5 and you're also saying no more ride skills, you're directly interfering with Blaster Blade the Vanguard, a unit which is not only arguably easier to set up as a multi-attacker because it's self-included and it's energy, it's like counterblast, and then there's energy blast 3 for the retires, which is another really useful aspect. But Blaster Blade the Vanguard is something you want to see sooner rather than later and use sooner rather than later so that your MLB can be a 20k base. One of the issues with playing Alfred early, right, is you have to run this in your ride deck most likely. You could ride it later, but then you're foregoing on Persona Ride, so that doesn't seem like the most optimal play. And because you're having to do a different card name with Alfred or Blaster in its card name from the hand, you can't even ride upon itself again. So it isn't a situation where you could set this up from the hand and then you could keep setting it up for the next turn. It's not like that at all. Another issue is because you're trying to set up Blaster Blade the Vanguard for MLB to be a 20k base, you probably want to just have MLB there and not risk it on being able to see it in the hand for the superior ride. So it's a cool alternative to Blaster Blade the Vanguard, but yeah, it's more situational and it's arguably more costly overall. I don't know if I'd probably steer clear away from this, but it does maintain some kind of cool elements about the riding, and then it being sort of like a primary Vanguard in the sense that you lead with it and then your true ace in the hole comes afterwards. I kind of like that idea, but still, not exactly the greatest because it conflicts with your deck elements, and the pre-established core of MLB at this point sort of exceeds what Alfred brings to the table. Okay, on to the next stage. Oh yeah, he's a pretty popular Redditor on this subreddit. Max Dragons, AK Zeraberos. I think this is a buddy fight card, right? AK Greedon's Daddy. Okay, Ancient World. So Ancient World, this is a grade 0 boost, 6k. When you roll point with second, draw a card. Oh, okay, cool. So he took the flag, which if you guys don't know, right? Let me briefly explain, right? The way Buddy Fight works is Buddy Fight, you have a flag. This is sort of like your nation, if you will, and it allows you to play the cards of that nation. It has a few other benefits associated with it, but that flag is, for most intents and purposes, your sort of clan nation. And he decided to use Ancient World as a representation of that because you lead with your flag. You immediately have your flag in buddy fight, from what I remember. So in the same way, you immediately have Ancient World set up, and it's what allows you access to the rest of your vanguards and subsequently your rear guards. So that is a flavorful choice for his starter. I dig that. Good points for that one. Dominlord Zerberos. It reminds me of Zerboros, the topologic Link 4. Grade 1 boost, okay. Max Dragon, it's its own type, that's cool. Continuous, this unit cannot be called to the rear circle. Come on. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, search your deck for up to 1 Overcrest or Grade 2 or greater Max Dragon and add it to your hand. Oh my god, okay. Against all odds, continuous. If the total grade of your rear guards is 0 or less, why would you, do you have negative grades? This unit gets power plus 2000 active on both turns. Is this on the Vanguard or Rearguard circle? And it would have to be on the Vanguard circle, right? Because it cannot be called to the Rearguard circle, I guess. So, but that means that you can't have any rearguards unless they're grade 0s. Interesting. So since it's available on both turns, that means if you went first with this dude, sure, you can't attack with it yet, but that means that it's automatically a 1 to pass if your opponent just swings with their AK. Weird. And then there's the whole search, which is just an immediate search. Overcrest, I think the Overcrest makes sense because a lot of brands are like that. Sure, you just forcibly search your set order, but the Great Tier Greater is a little bit whack, and that might be a little bit above the bar, but still, this is kind of a weird card. Dama Lord Zeraboros. Let's start clicking on these links to like look at them. All right, so we can sort of like get an indication of what they are. Against all odds, if you have only 1 monster in your field, this unit gets power plus 2k, defense plus 2k, critical plus 1 all year. Oh, okay, cool. So that's the whole point of that. Not bad. Yeah, because I don't know the Ancient Dragon deck. I only know a select few buddy fight decks. One of my buddies, right, Dark Rebel XYZ, he's a pretty big buddy fight player, so he showed me some stuff, and I played a couple decks, but that's about it. Tyra Lord Zeraboros Aug. So it's a grade 2 Max Dragon. This unit cannot be called to the rear circle. Okay, so you're probably wanting only as a ride line. This unit can only be ridden by Max Dragon effects, cannot normal ride. Where's an Overcrest? Where's an Overcrest? Where's an Overcrest? Where's an Overcrest? Grade 1, set order. At the end of each player's turn, if your Vanguard grade is equal to or less than to your opponent's Vanguard, discard a card from your hand and ride a Max Dragon 1 grade higher than your Vanguard from your ride deck or drop zone. So that, yeah, okay, so unless you don't see the Overcrest, you have to search the Overcrest, right? So, okay. I mean, I guess in retrospect then, this doesn't feel too bad, because if you break on the Overcrest, then which you only want to do 1, it looks like, then you would just get the Great Tier anyway, so it's still an easy search. Oh, and I think I've lightened up on that. It's fine. So you discard to ride this, okay. When this unit is played, search your deck for up to 1 Max Dragon unit card, add it to your hand. Then for this turn, the next turn, this unit gets 10k back to bump. If the total grade of your opponent's regards graded, this unit gets 5. This unit is a 25k base. This unit, which is a grade 2, has a stronger base power than Majesty Lord Blaster. Let that sink in. It has a better base power than ML freaking B. Wow. Dude, you really could just win with this one card at this point. Holy crap, he stands alone. That is for freaking sure. I can see why he says Greedon's daddy, because Greedon also kind of stands alone. Although he eats his units, which is where like those rear guards come into play. I'm shaking my monitor. But in the case of this guy, he just doesn't even have units. It's crazy. Vic Lord Zeraboros Seed. Grade 3 Persona Ride Twin. What does this guy look like? All right, big angry primal dragon. Nice, cool. Sounds about right. Alright. So let's see what's up with this guy. Can only be ridden by Max Dragon effects. Cannot normal ride. Alright. When this unit is placed, search your deck for up to 1 Max Dragon add to your hand. You will be adding Persona Ride, I'd imagine. Against all odds, the total grades of your rear guards is 0 or less. This unit gets 5k active on both turns. Auto double attack. He is so, oh wow. At the end of the battle, this unit attack, discard 1 card and stand in and drive -1. This ability can be used once per turn. Hey, you know what? Honestly, I kind of dig that. That is a way of interpreting double attack, but also putting in some balancing aspects because of the drive ability of Vanguards. You know what? Okay. So it's an 18k base at all times, which doesn't exceed MOB, funnily enough. But this can just swing twice. So you just have this guy, it goes hard twice, and that's it. That's all you do. Man, Shinobu would freaking love this deck. If you've ever seen that anime character, all he does is swing twice with Greed on, normally, or 3 times in the most recent fight. He actually learned how to triple attack with it. That is so Shinobu's style. Actually, speaking of which, triple attack is an actual ability in buddy fights, so we might get like triple attack, because I noticed we've got like more big stuff here. Okay, grade 4 triple drive. So this is a stride. Okay. Grade 4 triple drive, or no, it's not a stride. It can only be placed on Vanguard circle by normal ride. So you don't add Persona Ride with Zeraboros Siege. You add a grade 4. Okay. When this unit is placed, retire all of your opponent's rear guards. Your opponent discards 1 card for each unit retired? No. Okay, that's too broken. Continuous against all odds. If the total grade of your rear guards is 0 or less, this unit gets power +5 active on both turns. Okay, cool. Hey, yeah, boy. I still got it. I got the touch. This is a triple attack. At the end of battle, this unit attack, discard 1 and stand. This unit gets drive -1 till end of turn. This ability may be used twice per turn. Nice. Okay. So again, it's the same basic stuff, but as you're building up, you're getting more and more severe with it. It's 18k that's now swinging for triple drive, and then twin drive, and then single drive, which is holistically 6 drives for discard 2, which is holistically therefore a +1, assuming no draw triggers. That's fine. Now, this effect we gotta talk about, right? I don't know about this effect. Like maybe it could have been changed to retire all of your opponent's rear guards. If 2 or less were retired, your opponent discards 2 cards or something. Like it's still like a pretty wicked skill, but it's not anything too dismanageable. But even then, that's kind of wicked, because in addition to like that field wipe, you're just like burning their defensive resources with the triple attack, which is super threatening. So this is getting kind of scary, man. Like, you don't need rear guards. Rear guards are just like fodder for discards and stuff. Almighty Overlord Zeraboros Lost. Strongest Overlord that stands above all. Hey, Draconic Overlord takes offense to that. You take that back. What does this guy look like? I gotta see what this guy looks like. Oh, he's red and gray now. Oh, dude, he digivolved into War Greymon. Let's go. Heck yeah. Okay, so what does Zeraboros Lost do? I have to keep doing that. Sorry, fellas. Cannot be called a rear, obviously. Can only be placed by normal ride. Alright. Against all odds, the total, yep, this unit gets 5k. So, triple attack at the end of battle, this unit attack discard, stand this unit, gets drive -1. This... What? Critical 2! And it's 18k power! Sneaky. I almost thought you accidentally had the same card effect, but no. You pulled a dungaree. You did a dungaree do right there. If you guys remember V-Series dungaree, 17k base with 2 crit and triple drive, right? And then it would lose those stats if you didn't pay its requisite cost. That's cool. That's cool. And this one doesn't this one doesn't have the field wipe for it, right? But this one does do that. You know what? This is the shiznit. This is kind of cool. I like this. So this is swinging 3 times for at base minimum 23 with a triple drive and critical +2. And it just swings 3 times, and that's it. That's your entire turn. Yeah, I dig that. If you guys remember, way back in the previous season, there was that Gilgamesh series where the idea behind it was it gets the abilities of all your units in your soul, and Gilgamesh was just your soul Vanguard that kept doing all the fighting, and it was inheriting abilities to keep on the fight. This one doesn't inherit abilities necessarily, but it does take the fundamental abilities of continuous power and restands, and it builds up and gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger with that fundamental premise, and it's just this guy who keeps going. You know what? I kind of like it. I kind of like it. There was a little bit of a hiccup here with this, which is just like too brutal for the opponent. And admittedly, I will say that this is a little bit nonsense how defensively strong this is. But for interpreting that buddy fight series of effects and taking it over to Vanguard in a way that feels familiar but also feels fresh in a way, this is freaking sick. I so have got to like put something like this. I wish he had made a custom with their arts. That I'd put that on the top of the thumbnail, not gonna lie. I love this. We're off to a great start. Okay, we got some support cards. So we already like saw, wait, hold on a second. Let me read this real quick. Let me set one over crest. At the end of each player's turn, if your Vanguard's grade is equal to or less, let's see. So let me think about this. So you would set this on turn 1. So if the opponent is grade 3, then you make it to grade 2 automatically, and then they have to go to 2. And then when it's your turn, you're from your right. Are you riding faster than them? Wait, hold on a second. So if you're going first, that means you're 1, right? You do it at the end of the turn, so you're equal to them, so you ride up 2. Which means, so no, you know, if you're, if you're going second, you ride up. If you're going first, then you're 1 and they're 0, which means that you're not less than, so they do get to go 1, and then you go to 2, right? And then if you're, and then because you're 2, and then they're 1, they're not, okay, so you don't fulfill. So if you're going first, it's normal. If you're going second, then you go to 2, immediately at the end of the turn, right? And then they go to 2, and then you're immediately at the 3. So you're ride skipping then. That's kind of brutal. If you're going second, wow. Going second means you're going first. It does kind of enable strike deck set in a little way. But yeah, you'd probably go second with this deck then, because then you can also get the other benefits of going second, like the energy and the extra draw starter. Okay. Primitive Power Zeraboros, grade 2. Hand, during either player's turn, when your opponent plays a normal or blitz order, cost counterblast 1 and discard this card for your hand and deal 1 damage. No. 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 Your Vanguard's doing plenty, buddy. We don't need to nullify the opponent's order play. That's too much. In the standard format, there are a lot of decks, whether you're playing an Order Engine, or you're a Brantgate deck, or a Stoicheia deck. There are too many decks which are reliant on your order. If you can't do your order, you do nothing. So just for counterblasting and discarding 1, you can shut down your opponent's entire turn and ping them a damage which isn't limited by how much is in their damage, so you could kill them if they're at 5. Yeah, that right there, I get this is probably interpreting like an impact card or a counter card from Buddy Fight. Like here, let's look at what Primitive Power is. Counter, when your opponent casts a spell, you may drop this card, pay 1 life, and nullify the opponent's card. This one doesn't even ping. Like hell, the Vanguard reinterpretation is even more powerful than this. As trippy as that is. So the spells are more common in Buddy Fight anyway. Yeah, the format couldn't handle this, unfortunately. This is kind of in poor taste, especially the damage ping in addition to shutting down. Like, just imagine playing Zorga, right? And you're about to do your Magose, and this is like, Alchemagic? I don't think so, bud. I'm just gonna discard this. Great. Yeah, that's too much. Rival Supremacy. Hand, during your turn, cost counterblast 1, discard, search your deck for up to 1 Max Dragon grade 0 unit or 1 Max Dragon order, add it to your hand, shuffle your deck. Alright, so you're utilizing your CB, which I noticed that these don't CB, so this is where your CB is coming in, which is pretty smart. And this is adding an order grade 0, so you could use a grade 0 unit, I guess, just to call it and have it help out. Might be kind of dangerous territory considering how strong your Vanguard is, but it might be fine. But the orders I'm more interested about. Out on the drop zone, all Max Dragon in your field get 5k. Stacks for every copy in your drop. Could we piecemeal? Can we negotiate for every 2 in your drop? Please? Please? Oh man, plus 20k continuously during the turn. So now that means that if you go all the way up to Lost, then Lost is going for 43 each attack? Nah. That's a little bit too powerful. Just a little bit too powerful. At least he made sure to have it be during your turn, so it's not during the opponent's turn, because then we'd have hell to pay for that. Lord of the Skies, grade 1 normal order. Nice. Search your deck for up to 1 Overcrest and set it in your field. If you look through your deck, shuffle your deck. But hold on a second. You may only have 1 set Overcrest on your field. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Wait, hold on a second. Now that I think about it, if your Vanguard's grade is equal to or less than, discard and write a max from your right deck. Because it's drop zone, you can ride one of these 4 during the opponent's turn? Whoa. Wait. When this unit is placed? Oh wait, no, but because it's at the end of the turn, you're not like doing it in the middle of the battle, so you don't wipe them. But that is still kind of crappy that like at the end of their turn, like you could like wipe out some cards, but it's not like that meaningful of a difference. But still, what's crazy about that is that means that you can go into Lost, right? After grade 3, you go into Lost and you have a 23k base. Oh, that's kind of tough, man. This the more I look back on that set order, the more and more dubious I become of it. Okay. Anyway, I don't understand this effect. Dragon Lord burst forth. Grade 2 normal order. Cost discard 1 max dragon for your hand, draw 2 and countercharge 1. Then if the unit discarded was grade 2 or higher, draw 1. So you can plus, so if you pitch a grade 2 or greater, which already like combos with riding from the drop zone, also combos with your other grade 2 Zeraboros, which like stacks in the drop zone, you plus 1 and countercharge. So it's like Pot of Greed that countercharges. That's crazy, bro. Whoa. That's that's what. No. I mean, yeah. It is like that in terms of overall economy. This is a +1 for free, and so was Pot of Greed, but this one also countercharges, which in the Vanguard context is even more meaningful. Champion's Intimidation, grade 3 set order. The power and critical of all max cannot be reduced by your opponent's card abilities. Well, Tamayura, you're cooked. Act once per turn. Put up to 1 max dragon unit from your deck into the drop and shuffle your deck. Oh, well, that's easy. You put this guy to get that stack even easier. Or alternatively, if you're not seeing the lost that you need to see, then you put it there so that the crest can ride it easier. I mean, this is all like, I think in terms of like play, this is all really cool. I like the system. It's like it's firing on cylinders. Everything has their place. The orders are doing their jobs. Your Vanguard is doing its job as a solo battler. The cards in hand are like they're fulfilling their role as fodder, albeit like, you know, there's some busted aspects to it. It's just that it's starting to get a little bit over the top, which I guess is buddy fight and by its very nature, right? So maybe I shouldn't get too mad at that, but it is a little bit too much in a few different areas, which I've already outlined. Maximum of absolute strength. There's only one true strongest being. You're looking at him. Booyah. Grade 2 Blitz Order. Cost discard 1 in CB. During an attack on your opponent's turn, choose one of your units cannot be hit in that battle. Oh, nice. So it's a Blitz Order. That's also a PG. But wait, hold on a second. It's not even qualified as a Sentinel. Oh wow, this gets around Blankmire. Ooh, that might be a little bit too much. At the end of that battle, look at the number of cards at the top of your deck equal to your Vanguard's grade. Add 1 to your hand. Place it. What was the point of the discard then if you were just going to like filter it out for a card of your choice? No, it's extra PGs and it's also effectively like a hand filter of your choice. Yeah, okay, that's a little bit too much. And because your Vanguard doesn't counterblast, you can just get this counterblast easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yep, that's a little bit game breaking, just a little bit by the fundamental balancing of how shields work so far. Okay, another Blitz Order with the same condition. During an attack, choose your units cannot be hit. More? How many PGs can you get, brother? This is like 12 PGs so far, and 8 of them don't even count as PGs. At the end of the battle, you choose 2 cards from your hand to damage zone. Okay, your opponent chooses cards from your damage zone equal to half grade of your Vanguard. Round it down, you heal. And this is even more free because you could heal out the counterblasts. Well, I guess your opponent chooses, so it depends on how much you're counterblasting. Oh, this is also messed up. I'm not looking at that ever again. Dragon Lord Crescent Blade, grade 0. Oh, okay. So this is this unit can only attack from the back row center. Okay, so you get more attacks. Great. Now we're even going against one of the things I did like about this deck. Against all odds, the total grades of your rear guards is 0 or less. Yes, it can't be retired. This unit's original power become half the power and original of your Vanguard rounded down. This is weird math, man. This is weird math for this game, man. Okay, but yeah, like aside from the weird math, why is this thing just have a resist? And why is it adding an attack to a deck whose only attack should be your triple attacking, grade 4, triple driving, double critting Vanguard? Why is there more? Why, like, oh my god, dude, no. And then you have to throw math into this, weird math? Get out of here, bro. The strongest is me. Yeah, if you were releasing this game right now, the strongest would be you, dude. Grade 3 normal order oh, here's an impact. You may only play this during your end phase, and the total grade of your rear guards is 0, and your Vanguard attacks you one more times this turn. Dude, you can get this on turn 3 easy. Cost Counterblast 2, easy. Deal 1 damage to your opponent's Vanguard equal to half of the grade of your Vanguard rounded down. So you can deal 2 damage to your Vanguard once you reach grade 4 during their end phase for free. Like, I mean, well, I say Counterblast 2, so I guess not for free, but still, it's like, what? And then you can just kill them with this. Oh, what a freaking, that is the most beautiful, like, cherry on top to this crap sandwich. I don't know what to say, dude. At first, this looked really cool, and then progressively, the buddy fight stuff started to rear their ugly head and make this more and more untenable for our good Christian card game. I'm gonna rate this a buddy fight out of 10 because it should not be in this game. It should be in that game. Nathan Clarence Hearn. Oh, hey, what's up, Nathan? It's I'm glad this guy's here. He was I remember this dude's customs from like the last couple seasons. He usually cooks us some pretty cool stuff. So what you got? In honor of Tokaha and Rin from G. Ooh, I made some fan-made premium bosses for both clans. Okay, so this is premium. The concept of these are gift striders, grade 3 boss units that get both a stride skill and a magic gift with the restriction that they have 11k base and their gifts are locked behind their stride skills. Okay. The grade 4 evolutions work on their own, but work better when used to their respective grade 3s. All right, I'm glad he gave me the breakdown there, so I'll be sure to keep in mind that pattern. Quick sip here. Let's check it out. Flower Princess of Euthymia, I think. Flower Princess of Euthymia Season LD. So we're starting with the Neo Nectars. As of late, I've been getting to be kind of a Neo Nectar G because I just freaking love Asha, best girl, man. Okay, so act on the Vanguard circle once per turn. Choose a card for your G zone, turn it face up. Look at top 10 cards of your deck, call 2 cards from among them for each of your rear guards. Oh, okay, so if you have 2, you can call 4, which is going to begin overcalling. If you have like 1, you can grow 2 for free. You can keep overcalling, which means you can proc your blooms more. All right, shuffle your deck. If you call 3 or more on rear guard with a plant token. Oh, interesting. So yeah, now this is working with the plant token gimmick, like even more so. I wonder. Let's see. Auto the Vanguard circle once per turn. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked a Vanguard. Cost Counterblast 1 and discard a card from hand. Search your deck for up to 1 card with the same name as your Vanguard. Write it as stand and shuffle your deck. Whoa, okay. Let me think about that for a bit. Okay, and then we got a secondary skill. Act in the Vanguard circle / G zone once per turn. If this card is face up, Soul Blast 1, choose a normal unit from your drop, return it to the bottom of your deck, call a plant token, choose one of your units, and gets 5k until end of turn. Okay. So for a price of a Soul Blast, you get a little bit of recycle, and then you get to call back a plant token. Alright. So that's a nice +1. Search your deck for a card the same as your Vanguard, write it. This is a trippy sort of like it's like a sort of next stage effect. You're discarding though, which means that you're only like +1 on it, but you're wait, hold on a second. This unit gets right. Okay, so it gets that ability for at the end of the battle. So this is the multi-attack part, and this is the main phase. Set up your field and bloom a bunch of times. Yeah, this is kind of a cool card. All right, it feels good for the bloom stuff, and then you can like go into whatever Vanguard that like you want, right? As long as it's the same name. So I wonder how this is supposed to work better with Asha. I guess I'll have to read, like, the Asha to know better about this, but, like, for right now, yeah, this seems pretty legit. You can probably go for stuff like Stand Peony to combo with this even more if you wanted. There's a few Neo Nectar bosses that could, in theory, work out for that. Like, let's see, what would be another good multi-attacker? Cecilia Reverse might be a good multi-attacker to use with this. I could see a really big case to be using for that. Oh yeah, and I guess since this is Vanguard Circle as well, you already can generate a plant token of your own volition, and then this builds up to do more Soul Blast for that. I think that's kind of the perfect conversion rate, if you will, for something like Premium Neos. This isn't too crazy for Premium Neos. It feels just right. So yeah, I can dig it. Everlasting Instance, Gradual Dragon. Grade 4 G Guardian. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, counterblast when to call 2 plant tokens. With 10k shield, 10k power, intercepts. Okay. Until end of turn, all of your rear guards can intercept from the back row. That's an interesting one. Oh, that's cool. So it gives you a +2 initially. Now you could use them for 10k shields if you want, and no matter where you place them, they're going to be viable 10k interceptors. Or you could save them for the following turn where you can combo with Eldina or any other Neo Nectar cards you have. This is a fascinating design space for Neo Nectars, where being able to effectively bloom your resources, well, I mean, you're not blooming unless your cards are named plant token for some reason, but you get the point, right? Like, you're planting seeds during the opponent's turn. And this is cool, especially if you happen to need rear guards immediately for your turn. Now, Asha, like old Stride Ashas, are a little bit different that way, because even with the original, right, like, you did need the rear guard so that you can get, like, a copy call, but you can't really copy call plant token, to my understanding, so that's not, like, the combos there, but still, there's a lot of ways you can use plant tokens, and they're the beefier plant tokens. This is really cool. One other thing about this is I do dig the gradual dragon input here, so we're kind of uniting that aspect of Neo Nectar. We're remembering that he existed, so bonus points for that, Nathan. Let's see. Astra Flower Princess Eldina, 11k power, grade 3 twin drive. Huh, okay, so we're actually not doing an Asha. We're doing just an entirely new unit for Neos. You know what? Fair. We don't always have to be Asha for G, right? We can do something different. Let's see what's up. Continuous on the Vanguard Rearguard Circle, this unit gets the name of all your grade more or less rearguards. Oh, okay, so it can get the name of plant token then. Cool. Bloom. Yeah, boy, that's the shiznit. Auto, Vanguard Rearguard, once per turn. When your card with the same name as this unit is placed on rear circle, costs Soul Blast 1. This unit gets the power of all of your other units with the same name as this unit until end of turn. So it just blooms your entire field and puts the power onto itself. Now that is pretty impressive, because this can be during the battle phase, potentially. But what's a little bit weird about this is, let me read this again, right? So this is an axe skill to play, so it's not going to happen during the battle phase. You ride, you ride it. So when you ride it, when your card with the same name is placed with the, well, I mean, it doesn't say other card. Does that mean that it works on itself? Well, okay, I mean, I guess you could do the rear guard skill, right? So the rear guard could respond to the Vanguard being placed. All right, I guess I can dig that. Auto Vanguard Circle once per turn. When placed or when your G unit strike, cost counterblast 1 discard, get a measure, get force, call up to 3 plant. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So you're receiving 1 and discarding to get like a force and 3 plant tokens, which is pretty powerful, but it's a good benefit for something like premium. Like, again, the context of premium play is what's keeping these things pretty reined in, because premium, you can do some absolutely bonkers crap. So this is good for Neos, right? That Neos can really lean in hard on these aspects, because it's really what the clan has to offer as a whole for the most part. Now, but because of these plant tokens, it gets the adopt of the plant token. You can then combo to Soul Blast and you get the power of all of your plant tokens, so it's an even bigger swinger. And you're getting imaginary gift force onto her, which means that if you placed it, you can do this. That's 1 force. Then you stride, you do this again. That's a 2nd force. You place it with the stride, and that's another force. This is appropriately resource intensive. Now, this is only soul blasting. It's not, and then this part is counter blasting, right? And then this is more counter blasting and more discards, which means you're going to need to get some resource units soon. Hell, even your Soul Blast is kind of getting burned really quickly here. Your Hand Advantage is also going to get burned quickly because you're just recalling to the field. This is a very, very, very aggressive strategy. But if you just want to burn your dread and go hard at it, like right then and there, you definitely have that line of play. So I dig how aggro it is, because it almost feels like if you were to take your Neo Nectar's deck and play it like a Nova Grappler deck and say advantage doesn't exist. These cards in hand aren't for surviving, they're for winning. Discard them as cost. Bloomberg Dragon is a 10k power grade 2 intercept. When rode upon, okay, so this is like a ride deck kind of thing. Counterblast 1, another counterblast. Sheesh, man. Search your deck for up to 2 normal units without the Sentinel ability, reveal them out of your hand and shuffle your deck. Wow. Okay. If you can get like some plant tokens early, which I know like Ruth, when she's placed on the Vanguard circle, you can call like 1 or 2 depending on your opponent's grade. That's a pretty cool conversion. Auto, when placed on rear circle with a plant token, Soul Blast 2, and this unit gets critical +1 to turn. Wow. Ooh, that's kind of yikes though. I wouldn't Soul Blast 2 for the critical is really strong. It's definitely a fair cost for it, but with all the other Soul Blasts coming around, I'm like, oh my god, dude, please, no more. Maiden of Flower Veil. When your other rear guard is placed, retire this unit, draw a card, and call a plant token. All right, that's cool combo. You get to place more plant token, and it can combo with your what was her name again? Eldina. Act on the Vanguard circle, so this is Vanguard specific. The next time you would call a plant token to rear circle, increase the number of tokens called by 1. So you need to combo with it somewhat, with something that can call a plant token on turn 1, which I don't appreciate because it's a grade 1, and so some of your easiest ones like Sylvia are grade 2. I don't know if I appreciate that per se. That may not be the strongest ride for you, but maybe I'm underestimating the many ways. I mean, I guess there are a couple ways, like a couple maiden cards that can get you plant tokens like easy. I think Elf can also get you it for a Soul Blast, which is a Soul Blast. Keep that in mind. All right. I really like the combo potential of this and the way it blends the blue mechanic with the ability of the plant tokens at your disposal and how you utilize your plant tokens for more calls, more effects. The one thing I have an issue with is the resources are a little bit too tight. So I can see where it's extremely cumbersome to play this deck, and you would need to get more counter charges and more ways to build soul. Which is a kind of a unique complaint, because usually it's the opposite where I complain that things don't cost enough. I think you went a little bit too ham on the cost this time around, Nathan. I think the costs are appropriate. Maybe there's a couple things you could do, like reduce some of the costs on these a little bit. But mainly it's just giving us some resource things, right? Like some good dedicated resource generators so that you can keep your cycle going. But aside from that, these are beautiful. As a guy who appreciates the Neo's play lines, you did a fine job with these. So now it's time for the Rin Hashima cards. Primordial Watcher of the Heavenly Seal Serakiel. Rescue Cross, okay. So Rescue Cross, auto, Vanguard circle when it attacks, cost counterblast 1, flip up a G zone. For every 2 cards in your damage zone, choose a card, call to rear circle, and rescue check. Alright. So that means unless you're playing something like Bazaziel, which could increase the threshold of damage you need to take to lose, you're probably only going to at max do 2, but you could potentially do 3 if you combo with that unit. Alright, cool. So it's a double, maybe even triple rescue check, and you can call 2 to 3 units. Act Vanguard Circle, Soul Blast 2, choose 4 cards for your drop, return to the deck, shuffle it, and until end of turn, this unit gets plus 15k power. Love this skill. Love it. Rescue checking is a recipe for disaster in the long game because it will deck you out sooner rather than later, right? So because of that, you're able to just Legion them back, which is really impactful. You can choose any 4 cards, which means you can choose triggers. Super impactful card, definitely worth the Soul Blast 2, and the 15k is nice for a little bit of pressure on your Vanguard swing, which Angels doesn't hit the hardest, right? Angel Strides are more about surviving and resources and relying on damage check from rescues and stuff in order to get your pressure going. So it's nice to have a pretty beefy attack inherently with this skill, and because you're putting back triggers, then your rescue pressure does increase as a result. Very well designed card there. Holy Seraph, Liel, Amira. So, oh, interesting. So, I guess you do stake your claim that she's more of an Angel Feather card than anything like that. Putting a Liel card as a G Guardian. That's kind of sly of you, Nathan. Rescue 2. Oh, wow. That's a great way to start this. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, Counterblast 1, bind a trigger unit from your hand. Choose 2 cards from your damage zone, call them the Guardian Circle. Choose one of your Vanguards and deal 2 damage. At the end of the battle, bind the cards called with this effect. With the Twin Rescue check, you could potentially get 2 defensives for that, which is crazy. But not, and also because you're you're counterblasting, and I think you can call the counterblasted cards. So if you can, then the counterblast is essentially moot, so you would have to say choose 2 face-up cards in your damage zone and call them the Guardian Circle. But dealing 2 damage is pretty amazing. You bind the cards called the effect, so if they're pretty solid defensive pieces, then they're bound afterwards, which you can't shuffle them back with this Pseudo Legion skill. And also, since you're binding a trigger unit from the hand, that's another thing you can't recur. So, with maybe the exception of making sure you can only call face-ups, I think the balance of this is pretty good, because it's definitely a really strong defensive skill, but you're kind of killing your resources a little bit when you're doing it that way, which is a fair compromise, because we're definitely leaning in on the tanky attrition side of Angel Feather here. Cosmo Watcher Serakiel, alright, so this is your 11k Strider. What does this do? Rescue 1, auto Vanguard Circle once per turn. I really dig that you're taking the keywords and putting them back in. The bloom was well implemented, so I hope the rescue is too. When placed or when you're G your stride, cost Counterblast 1, get a imaginary gift Protect, choose a face-up card in your damage zone called the rear circle, choose your advantage, and deal. Yes, yes, yes! Do note the face-up card in the damage zone. Yes, boy, that's cool. All right, and then yeah, you actually because you choose the face-up, you still keep the counterblast, and it's still a rescue check with a superior call. And since it's when placed, it's not like a multi-attack inherently unless there's something that you can do to ride it, which I don't think you can. So it is just a +1 with the damage ping. That's perfect. Auto Vanguard, it feels just like Black Shiver Gabriel. Auto Vanguard Circle at the end of your turn. If 3 or more cards are put in your damage zone this turn, good condition. Choose 2 cards for your drop, put them in your damage zone face up. Choose 2 cards from your damage zone and heal them. Oh, nice, nice. Okay, cool. Now this is effectively a countercharge 2. Which I don't appreciate that much, but it is cool that you can cycle out your damage zone to get good attackers and good defenders and really craft that damage zone to optimal combat, which is peak Angel Feather, if you ask me, right? Being able to have your damage zone meticulous and precise to whatever your scenario is, it makes you feel like 5-head, dude. It makes you feel smarter than the Genesis player. Auto in the damage zone. Spicy. At the beginning of the guard step where your Vanguard is attacked, cost Counterblast 1 discard, call this card a Guardian Circle, and gets shield 5k to end a turn. Wow. Since this is a grade 3, that means it's only going to be a 5k shield, so for the discard and Counterblast, you would have to be very desperate to do this, but as far as last-ditch efforts go, it is there. Wait, yes, this is a generic heal effect. Because you don't replace the damage! Ooh. Ooh, so you discard Counterblast. This is nasty. Is this fine? Is this fine? Oh, this might not be fine because you also return cards back, so you can survive longer than a lot of opponents, so you might actually like deck them out. They just can't kill you. That might be a little bit too crazy, not gonna lie. I think it would have been more preferable if you just increased the shield, but like replaced. Oh, you know what you could have done? Like make it be like shield plus 20 or something like that. And in exchange, instead of discard a card, it was take a card from hand and put it in the damage zone. Would have been a more fair play, not gonna lie. Yeah, this is a little bit too crazy for me. Not gonna cap that. I don't know. You might have missed it a little bit on that one, but maybe I'm just too afraid. The other 2 skills though, pretty cool. I don't like the countercharge 2 ability there, but the condition is pretty cool, and this first skill is pretty peak. Wall of Protection Gadriel. When placed on Van or rear circle, Soul Charge 1, generically, pretty good, especially because you have the Soul Blast 2 for your stride. Discard a card from hand, choose 1 card from your damage zone, search your deck for drop with the same name as that unit. Call to rear circle. Okay, cool. So you discard and then you get to copy. This actually feels pretty good if you're playing like a Celestial deck, right? Because Celestials need to match rears with copies of cards in the damage zone, so that feels pertinent. Rescue 1, damage zone. At the beginning of the guard step where your Vanguard is attacked, if a trigger was revealed by your opponent's drive check this turn, discard a card, call this card, choose from your opponent's vanguards and deal damage. Oh, okay, cool. So it's a 5k shield that can also damage, paying 1 more. So you're leaning back more into racking up your defenses to stop your opponent's attacks. Yeah, that seems fair. That seems cool. I like that. And again, you're discarding, so you are killing your hand resources, which notably you don't get a lot of hand resources with this deck, which is going to be where the balancing of a lot of this is yes, you're relying on your damage checks to do the bulwark of the defending because you're not going to have a lot of hand. So if your opponent is hitting for massive numbers, it's going to be a direct counter for you, aside from the use of the protect marker. Deceitful Angel Armoros. Hey, Armoros, let's go. When placed on van or rear circle, Soul Blast 1. Search your deck for drop for up to 1 wall protection Gadriel or Serakiel. Put in your damage zone and shuffle it. Choose a card from your damage zone, add to your hand. Perfect. You put one of these defensive cards in there, and then you can add it back for optimal ride line, or if you already have the ride line you need, then you just keep it there for defensive stuff. Very, very intelligent use. Oh, hard once per turn too. Good. I do like that it's a hard once per turn as well, because yeah, these defenses can get a little bit out of hand if you keep stacking it. So perfect. Yeah, I like that. Oh, and it also combos with this because you can call an extra like copy of like Gadriel or whatever, right? Which I guess isn't that impactful in theory, but it's still kind of cool. Rescue 1, auto on the damage zone. Guard step, discard a card, call this card to a guardian circle as long as your opponent drove check a trigger. Choose one of your vanguards to deal the damage. Oh, okay, so yeah, it's just all you're doing is guarding within, you're doing the damage ping. So it's like what the other ones do. So it's their consistent bit. I feel like with this one, you could have even just given it the damage ping instead, just to keep in theme with the ride line there, and it would have been fine, but I don't know. Oh, okay, he actually gave us stuff. Oh, nice. I think I know what the thumbnail's gonna be. Okay, and anyway, those are some pretty cards there. Okay, let's go ahead. You know what? Yeah, let me show you guys what the other AI heart we had here is. So this is the Vanguard. Okay, so that's Cosmo Watcher, right? And then you have Gadriel, which is blonde, and then this one is Armoros. Okay, so this is like the one amalgamated, and then the other 3 are like purple or purplish blue hairs, which is kind of like a consistency that I dig. But I love the backgrounds. The backgrounds have like this sort of evening sky, sort of ominous feel to them, which is a cool aesthetic for something like Angel Feathers, where generally speaking, Angel Feathers are more on like dusk or dawn, right? Because they represent the in-between of life and death. For this one, it's more like in the darkness, so maybe it's like the light shining in the darkness of salvation. That'd be a cool sort of theme behind it. I dig it. Oh, I guess also because it's nighttime, you can see the stars and like the Cosmo Watchers. Yeah, that might be more the intent. Thirsty for all right, bro. D quick start deck boss unit upgrade. All right, cool. Let's get it then. Roaring Eternal Thunder Dragon, Great Triumph. All right, grade 3, 13k. Dragon Empire Persona Ride. I don't know what this 0 is. I guess it's the shield. This unit's also regarding as the original Triumph Dragon, while on VC or the ability for Triumph. All right, cool. So your Triumph Dragon can add Great Triumph Dragon automatically. That's a really cool way of expanding upon the Persona Searcher ability. That's nice, especially because you can just add them on all the effects because all of them search their personas. Auto, when this unit is put into hand from deck by the ability of your Vanguard Triumph Dragon, I wonder how. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, you may ride this card as stand. Then if you rode and did not activate Persona Ride this turn, activate Persona Ride. If you not activate Persona Ride. So that means you can Persona Ride on turn 3 if your opponent is grade 3 or greater. So you're sort of like a mass deck that way. You know what? That's fair. Mass decks can do it. This one is less like gimmicky for it, but it is a legitimate incentive to run these start deck bosses because you can Persona more reliably. That is cool. That is nice. Okay. All right. And then from there, it's on you to keep adding these things. So you know what it is? It's, you know what this makes me think of? It makes me think of the glitter upgrade grade 3s, right? Like the big glitter grade 3s where you have your ride thing where they get rid of themselves and then you can ride from the deck. With this one, your Vanguards inherently add them from deck to the hand and then ride them, so they facilitate that process without the use of a rear guard, so it's more consistent than that. But it does cost a counterblast, which is the compromise, which is nice. Act on the Vanguard circle once per turn. Bind an original from the soul, and until end of turn, this unit gets drive +1, and all the auto abilities of the card bound. Oh, okay, cool. So you expand on that. And auto at the end of the guard step, this unit attack, choose up to one of your opponent's rear guards or guardians, and retire it. At the end of the turn, ride the card bound as rest. Sentinel effects are nullified. Okay, I'm glad he specified that, right? Because that's, I mean, you would have to say nullified for it to be correct, but I imagine some people would be mistaken that. Heck, just a little while ago, we got the yellow OT and purple OT revealed, and the bright sky OT retires guardians, and people thought, hey, does that stop Sentinel now? And everyone's like, no, dude, read Die Kaiser, there's a difference. Still, yeah, triple drive, and it also has some guard pressure to it, and you also get to have the extra like crit and power and retire, because that's what the original Triumph Dragon did. Yeah, and then you write back the card bound as rest, right? So it is again like the glitter bosses. So that must have been the basis that he used to make these upgrades. Beautiful upgrades. These feel threatening, these feel strong. You can blast your opponent right away with this. Like, this is definitely very fast and very threatening, so that's cool. And they do combo inherently with the support cards to them, because they're treated as the same unit name and they also get the same effects, so you have perfect synergy with your decks. This really turns all the trial deck bosses from 0 to hero on their own. Like, these are super crazy, but because they're expanding on, like, admittedly pretty lackluster bosses, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. And they're also inheriting the EB4 cost, so EB cost is still an inherent holdback for these decks, which is what it's supposed to be. It's a very Divines era boss, which utilizes energy in a very extensive way. Cool. This is good. This is really good. Now I'm really hyped to see what these other ones do. Cruel Beast, Demonic Supreme. Oh god, this sounds like a buddy fight name. His Highness Olid Osid Largest. His Highness, his largest. It's also regarded as the original while on Vanguard Circle, or when added by the ability. When it's added by the ability, you get to do... Okay, so from now on, I'm not going to read these. We're going to refer to it as the name copy effect and the superior persona right effect. So the unique effect is act on the Vanguard Circle, you bind an original, and this unit gets all the auto abilities. Then choose one of each player's rear cards, put in the soul, choose a grade 3 or less card from your soul, call it to rear, and this unit gets power plus 10k. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So you get to, so that means you get to swap out stuff. So you can call back the same thing, or you can call back something different that's more powerful from your soul. You give it power, this thing gets 10k power, and then during the battle phase, you're able to call something else from the soul. I think it's the battle phase that does it, right? Yeah, I think it is. And on top of that, you can also activate any effects associated with placing cards into soul, because there's a few Dark States cards that have abilities when you do specifically that action, so you can tap into those kinds of things. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't think it's quite as powerful as what we got with Triumph Dragon, because the drive and like guard punish is a bit more threatening than getting the call, even though you are negating a card from your opponent, but you're negating them to the soul, which is a meaningful resource to them in a lot of cases. So yeah, it's relatively more tame compared to the other one, but it's still pretty cool. Blitz, Sky Onslaught, Astrum, Aerial. This is, oh man, you know, honestly, his names are spot on. These, like, your username is really your username is a meme, but your card names are to die for. Okay, so what does Aerial bring to the table? So we got the usual couple of effects. Now you bind, you get all the original abilities, which was EB4 to stand a rear guard, and then both the Vanguard and the rear guard get plus 5k. So it's an inherent multi-attack. I think a lot of people consider it to be like the strongest of the effects, because it was a pretty simple multi-attack that was also powerful, relatively speaking. Then search your deck for drop for up to one armor supply vehicle Pretiosa. Put into your order zone. If you search your deck, and if you do not put, then draw a card. Huh. So armor supply vehicle Pretiosa. Let me look that up real quick. Okay, I got it here. So this grade 2 set order, play with counterblast 1. When your rear guards stand by the ability, that stand unit and all of your Vanguards get 5k. Okay, so it's adding more power. So instead of 5ks, it's now 10ks. Oh, and you put in your order zone automatically. And since you're doing it during the act, you're able to put another. Oh, and because this stacks, the more armor supply vehicles, the bigger the restand, the bigger your Vanguard will also be. That's a smart effect. I like that. This turned this from a neat add-on to something like fundamentally more mandatory. That perfect effects. Honestly, these are so cool. Man, these are perfectly expanding on what the originals do and adding on, not in a busted way, although Triumph is kind of strong, but not in a busted way, but also like just strong enough that they're relevant and flavorful. Salvation Wing Seraph Serrazio. Yeah, this is the one I'm looking for. All right, Keterogoons, what do we get? So you bind an original. This unit gets all the auto abilities, and auto. Okay, so it gets another auto ability. When your unit is placed on rear circle, this unit gets 5k power at the end of turn. Then, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card from among them, call it to rear. If it's a unit card, or discard it. Put the rest on top of your deck. Okay. So you get to do an additional plus off of your choice from the top, and then choose one unit, call it, and it's a unit or discard it, and then you get to stack the other cards. So you get minor deck stacking, which is like the Oracle Think Tank Genesis side of things. You get a superior card on the top, which is like a Paladin type thing, and then you get the resurrection from the drop, which is kind of like an Angel Feather thing somewhat, and you get more power on top of that. That's another really cool ability. I like that. That's really sick. Now, again, Triumph Dragon is kind of standing triumphantly in terms of power, although Ariel is also looking kind of strong depending on what you restand. You got a lot of options for threatening rear guards with that sucker. But this is cool. I like what they do here. Marine General, the Rumbling Great Sea, Cristiano Sturm. Yep, going 5 for 5 on your names. This one's going to have a hell of a time making better, although they do have a strong restander now from right here. When this unit attacks, okay, so you bind on an attack, which is an interesting difference. A lot of them are axe skills. Discard the top 2 cards of your deck, choose a grade 3, call it to rearguard circle, then until end of turn, this unit gets 5k power for every 5 cards in your drop. Definitely the Grand Blue card here. So yeah, this is more multi-attack. And you can call back your, you can call back a lot of different stuff, like hell, even an Inlet Pulse, right? This inherently works with Inlet Pulse to an integral degree. Hell, even Inlet Pulse is kind of like Aquaforce themed, right? So it's even got that going for it. All right, yeah, that's pretty cool. And the discards also give you a bigger search radius, somewhat like the callback. Not bad. And also you can call back your restander, I think, right? Like, yeah, that's true. Although I don't think the restander works perfectly with this. Here, let me check that actually. When placed from drop, get 10k, okay. When this unit attacks Soul Blasts, okay, so it's when it's Christianos, so you only get it when it's Christianos', so yeah, you're probably not going to be able to, like, if you didn't get it there already, then it's meaningful to get this guy back, but aside from that, yeah, you're limited to your... wait, but hold on a second, you bind a Christianos, so you can't even, yeah, you can't even work with it anymore. Okay. Wait, hold on a second. A lot of there's another support card, the Serrazio one, also like Soul Blast a particular Serrazio. That might be a weakness to some of these, right? So if you have really important rears that Soul Blast a copy, but you're binding a copy from Soul in order to get their original abilities and the additional skills. So there's dis-synergy with all that. I just realized, I almost overlooked that. Okay. It still might be worth the trade-off, though. I mean, hell, that thing was a multi-attack that was very specific, but this thing is kind of like fulfilling that for you, inherent on the Vanguard anyway. So that might still, I think you might just prefer that anyway. All right, call the romantic stage, Marlene. I don't know if I'd call them romantic now, but all right, we'll go with it. Act on the Vanguard circle once per turn. Cost bind a love call Marlene from Soul, and this unit gets all the original auto abilities of the card bound by the cost of this. Okay. Right. Why'd I read that out? Okay, I must be getting a little bit flustered here. Then choose one of your rear guards, return it, draw, choose a grade 3 or less, call it an open. Okay, so it's an additional bounce call for multi-attack, so you can get a 5-attack turn, but this one gives you like a nice draw part and parcel with it, so it helps your resources a little bit more. That's cool. Yeah, pretty standard stuff. Triumph Dragon might actually just be triumphant out of all of that. I think that's a really powerful effect they gave to him, followed by Ariel being the second biggest winner overall. So heck yeah, man. All right, overall 6 for 6. These are all really good upgrades. They're intuitive, they're fresh, they feel just right, they take several properties of your boss and utilize them in a meaningful capacity. Perfect custom cards. I'd thumbnail these if I could. Okay. Ooh, it's that time again. Woo. Yeah, the boy Neil. Yeah, yep. Here comes Mr. Refight here. I wonder what he's got today. Bastina, upgrade your bombs with set orders and blast your opponent's units with markers. Ooh, that is spicy. Shirley also got a few new cards. We never actually reviewed Shirley Remake, but we did feature in a custom fight. You can choose to only reveal the new cards, reveal the whole archetype. Okay, let's see here. I don't know which ones are the new cards. Let's start with this real quick, because I want to see how much he gave us. He got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So he more or less hit the cap. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do these for now. And then in the meantime, because I know the guy, I'll ask him which ones are the new cards so that I know what to review for the next episode. So we're going to piecemeal it the way that we also piecemealed Tweetigers. That way we can keep this moving. All right. So what do I start with here? I guess I'll start with 0, right? So this is the starter. Don't mess with VR, I'm gonna bomb you. Well, we know what the point of the deck is, right? It's a very simple idea, and it's a beautiful idea, potentially. What's a bomb marker? Let's see, so this says bomb marker. This represents a bomb marker and gonna be put in the deck. Wow, shocker that. When a unit is put on the same circle as this unit, remove this marker. At the end of your opponent's turn, this unit's on this same circle. Wait, hold on. When a unit is put, at the end of your opponent's turn, if a unit is on the same circle as this marker, remove this marker. Okay. So I'm going to assume that your Vanguard triggers when a marker is removed to bomb. The bombing unit. Okay, so we'll keep these two aspects of this card in mind. It removes itself when a unit is placed on it, and also at the end of the turn there's a unit on it. All right. Now let's move on. Is this grade 1 ride line? No, it's not. Is this grade 1 ride line? Yes. This card is regarding having Bastina in its card name. Just give it a Bastina name, bro. Come on. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, search your deck for up to 1 upgrade card, put it in your hand, and shuffle your deck. Okay. Definitely Brantgate. All right. I didn't note that with the starter. These are Brantgate cards. Okay. Kind of cool art that he got for these though. These are pretty wicked looking. All right. So Lethal Bomb. Hold on a second. Is Lethal Bomb what he's talking about? Set order upgrade. Yeah, okay, so it's an upgrade card. If you have a Bastina Vanguard, which means you can play it with your grade 1 because it's also grade 1, so that's why it matters to be a Bastina name. So just call it a Bastina, bro, and be done with it. We don't need to use up card space, right? And we know with customs, you and I, we know it's precious to have card space. Continuous in the order zone, all bomb markers on your opponent's circles get, when a unit is put to the same circle as this marker, retire that unit. All right, cool. Right. So it's the lethal bomb that is giving them that effect. They also get the end of your opponent's turn. This unit is on the same circle as this marker. Retire that unit. Okay. So the markers are going to get rid of themselves, right? And this one is the thing that like gives them the effect rather than the Vanguard. It's this order that you give it, and because it's only retiring something on the same circle, more of these wouldn't stack for retires because it's redundant. You're only doing the thing on the circle anyway, and this gives it to all your bomb markers. You're not just choosing one bomb marker. It's blanket carpet bombing. Okay. So I get the basis here. Then you're setting this up quite early. Now we just need to find ways of getting the markers going for us. Let's go ahead and move on. Grade 2. Oh, this is a grade 2 upgrade? Sure, why not? Play this with Counterblast 1 if you have a Bastina. Order zone, all bomb markers get, when a unit is put in the same circle, you may draw a card. The fighter that put the bomb marker, and at the end of your opponent's turn, this unit's in the same circle, you may draw. Oh. See, this one stacks though. Because each of this is giving all bomb markers an ability, right? I think this one stacks. Yeah, I think so. And if that's the case, that could get a little bit wild and out of hand here. Funny art. I don't know how I feel about that. If this doesn't stack and I'm misunderstanding it, then this is pretty good, but even then it depends on how much bomb markers you're getting, because that could get kind of wild and out of control. But that is cool. You're utilizing your markers for multiple things, so when it blows up, it's bad for your opponent, it's good for you. That's nice. They lose something, you gain something. Let's see. This is the Vanguard. All right, cool. This doesn't look like this art's a little bit. Well, I mean, I guess you see some fire down there. So is this like the result of the bombing? Is this a sniper grenade launcher and she's doing sniping bombs? Is she the sniper bomber? So regardless of Bastina. All right. When this unit is placed on ban, put a bomb marker to any of your opponent's rear circle with no bomb marker. Search your deck for up to 1 upgrade card, put in your hand, and shuffle your deck. All right, so you get a bomb marker, and you get another free order. Okay. This one's a little bit better than the, but then again, yeah, I guess it doesn't. The plus initially is a minus because when you put in the order zone, you get any benefit off of it immediately. But then with the bomb marker, you're going to start retiring them and then drawing cards. Okay, still not like too crazy, but it is a really cool idea. You're setting traps for your opponent on your opponent's side of the field, and depending on where you place them, you could really screw with their strategies. I'd imagine you just put them to the front row first, because that's the most logical choice, and then from there, I think where it gets more interesting is where in the back row you choose to put them, depending on how many bomb markers you get. Okay, so this is a one-time bomb marker. They do get rid of themselves though, which is important now in retrospect because that means it's less likely you'll be able to like keep sustaining this. Okay, is this the Vanguard? No, this is a third order. Wow. Okay, so we're doing the avant-garde spread 1 2 3 ABC. Play this with counterblast 1, so this is another counterblast. All right, so you're doing some CBs here. And you have a Bastina and 3 or more upgrade cards in your order zone. That's important because that means you can't go 1 2 then 3. You have to go like 1 1 2 or 1 2 2 or something like that. Order zone, remove 4 bomb markers from your opponent's circle and put this into your drop. Choose one of your opponent's vanguards and deal 1 damage. Ooh. This takes a lot of setup, potentially. I have to see the grade 3 to know how many bomb markers you can get going on, but the bomb markers are a little bit harder to come by, relatively speaking. This might be a cool compromise, and you have to, like, get 3 others before you can even get a chain detonation, and then you just, like, boom, and then it's the biggest bomb. I like the flavor of that, like, a damage ping directly to your Vanguard. You really did just, like, get past their defenses and blow them up. Like, a bomb feels pretty in tune with the theme of getting pinged. It's cool. It's like, It's like she presses the switch and then the C4 activates from like a Keter unit's sword or whatever. Continuous in the order zone. All ball markers on your opponent's circle get all right because we have one of these. When a unit is put into the same circle as marker, choose one of your vanguards, get 3K on it. Ooh, yeah, triple rares, right? I like the rarities down here. Is that fine? Because all of your bomb markers get that. So let's say you put like 2 bomb markers and they each place one. That's 6K to your Vanguard continuously, and then another one's an extra 12K. Ooh, that's a little bit tough to call. But you're getting a lot of like resources, but I don't see a lot of kill potential yet. You're just getting draws and retiring units and just being generally annoying to your Vanguard. So this reads a very grindy deck that seeks to win in resource value, and then maybe also get your opponent up to 5 so you can win via the chain detonation win con. So let's go on to the 3. This seems like it's the 3, right? Yeah, okay, see Vanguard circle skills. I guess I see a detonation switch, which is the only thing about this that screams Mad Bomber. Seems kind of tranquil aside from that. I don't know, weird champ. Anyway, auto on the Vanguard circle at the beginning of your ride phase, put a bomb marker on any of your opponent's rear circles, no bomb marker. All right, cool. When this unit attacks, all of your front row units get 5K for each bomb marker in your opponent's circles. If 2 or more bomb markers, then you get crit +1. All right, last unit gets you 1 bomb marker per turn. It's only at the beginning of the ride phase though, which means she's not going to give you a bomb marker initially when you get going, right? Because you ride in, it's already past the beginning of the ride phase, so it'll be from turn 4 onwards. And then, like, yeah, the benefit is cool, right? Let's say your opponent has, like, exactly 2 bomb markers, 10K to front row, this unit gets a crit. That's pretty in line with the power threshold divines right now. That feels kind of pitch perfect. So, yeah, not too much attack pressure, and there doesn't even seem to be multi-attack right now. So this is definitely going to be a grindy, pressuring deck that's trying to burn the candle on both ends. So let's look at some of the rear guards here and discuss more about that stuff. We've got, how many rear guards do we got? I think we just got, like, these 2, right? All right. At the end of all, this unit boosted on rear. The number of bomb markers is 3 or less, but this unit on the bottom of the deck energy blast 3, put a bomb marker on a circle with no bomb markers and countercharge 1. All right, cool. So you can neg this girlfriend in order to get a bomb marker and countercharge, which is good for your resources if you're trying to like CB a lot. And what's nice about that too is that bomb markers are going to get you a draw. and that part can stack. So if you're negging to get it in the first place and energy blasting 3, it does make it more warranted that you can do that. Okay, so that's fair. During your turn, if your opponent has 1 or more bomb markers, you get 5k, which makes sense because Bastina should be able to lend you 1, and then you also get a bomb marker with your grade 2 ride line, so it's pretty easy to get that going for Kuyo. All right, pretty perfect card. I think I see Mr. Refight's design philosophy here. You convert, like, your goal here is to annoy the opponent and hurt their resources, whereas yours aren't getting too crazy, but you're doing just enough to annoy them. It's not overwhelming though, which is a nice idea. Act rear circle. If your opponent has 2 or less bomb markers, CB, put a bomb marker in your opponent's rears. This is mandatory for you definitely need this stable act skill and to keep on giving bomb markers, and Koyo's giving you a counter charge also works really well with this. If your opponent has 1 or less bombs, his unit can be chosen by your opponent's card effects. This is cool. This is good. This is probably my favorite like design card out of all of them, because giving this resist effect and giving this generation effect, it's perfect. It has perfect clarity on what your strategy is like. The card that you need to stay on the field every turn has stay power because it has a resist effect. And because you need on the field every turn, you made an axe skill and you made it for a counterblast, which is a meaningful condition because it converts to draws and retires, which are generally things that counterblasts are worthy of. And you get a counter charge, but for a neg and an energy blast, which is a good, fair resources. But you're also still double dipping, if not triple dipping, based on the stacks of the grade 2 order on what the bomb marker does. So it's not overly fair. You can still get a fair bit of advantage and just like devastate your opponent's plays. And really, we're underestimating the power of the bomb marker. In order to get rid of the bomb, you have to, unfortunately, throw something as trip you on the bomb. If you see the landmine, and you know, if you, the Vanguard, right? Let's say you took on the guys of your Vanguard. You see the bomb over there, you see the landmine, and you have, I'm a brand, not brand, I'm a Keter guy, so let me just use Keter examples, right? I don't want to call that Nobia there. So I'm going to go ahead and look at Blade Feather Dragon and say, I'm sorry, man, you got to go. And I'm going to push him on that landmine. So he takes the blow, and then we'll call the Nobia and keep going. This is a really fun idea, man. Like, I'm pleasantly surprised. I thought bomb markers were either going to be underwhelming or overwhelming, depending on how these set orders make them improve. They are upgrade orders. I like the idea because they do just that. They are upgraders, so that's also pitch perfect naming scheme there. And yeah, the concept is really good. It's a really cool control strategy. It's a control strategy as well that inherently can be built upon itself more, as you can give bomb markers more effects and you can get more bomb marker generators, because that is probably going to be the biggest struggle for this deck, is that because bomb markers get rid of themselves as easily as they do, I'm starting to, like, bomb markers starting to like lose all meaning in my mind. I'm saying that too much. I'll just say marker. The more markers that like you generate, you know, the more you scale, but you can't generate them that easily. So more generation equals more profit and more devastation to the opponent, which they'll have to be careful with that, but that is a very direct line of improvement for future support, right? One other thing to note about this is, in retrospect, this skill, removing 4 bomb markers from your opponent's circles, feels hard as balls to do. And since bomb markers are not like that plentiful, it looks like, unless you get like multiples of them, like you'd have to like CB a bunch to get the markers going, and then you can get the pain going. But this is like also an axe skill, so you don't even get the battle phase Kuyo one going for it. This is really hard to achieve, which is why the pain feels just as strong as it does, because if you do go for it, you basically have to devote your all into opting for the damage ping. I mean, hell, this also CB's one. So this is a fair card. This is a very fair card. This also gives you defense, and yes, you're trying to attrition game. So who cares if you get a little bit of extra defense here? This is good for you. This is how you keep going. This is how you can, I suppose, live to the effect of, what am I thinking of? Like Arndril Direful Dolls, like they live for a really long time and they can also burn your opponent's resources, but they have like more devastating offense. With this one, it's more that you get the retire element that your opponent just simply cannot avoid, because, and this is the smart thing about these retires, with most retires, since it's during your turn, the opponent gets a chance to convert field to hand advantage, like a la Reziel style. With this, there's no escaping it because they have to put something on that circle at some point, and when they do, Boom. This is such a mean card. Wait, but there is one thing about the bomb marker, right? So remove this marker, and then at the end of the opponent's turn. So hold on a second. The beginning of your right phase. How would you put markers during the opponent's turn though, to double dip on that? I guess you wouldn't. I guess the idea of the marker is if your opponent places something during your turn, then you would like then the bomb would explode, and then you can put another one if it's again still during your turn. So maybe that's the idea behind it. Still, like, that little stipulation I feel is like a little bit weird because you'll probably just get one or the other, but still, really cool effect. Honestly, amazing archetype. He really outdid himself with this one. I'm going to review the Shirley stuff next time, so I'm hoping for, like, you know, the similar quality with that one, because Shirley was a pretty crazy deck, all things considered. If you guys ever saw that custom card fight with it, where I was testing out some of the custom reindeer stuff with it, that's how that goes. But yeah, really, honestly, pun possibly intended, these blew me away. These are really superbly designed. Well done, my man. Well done. Okay. And now let's get one more down for the day, right? So Steam Bud, you get the honor of being our last man standing for now. We had some pretty long lists today, so I guess that makes sense. These cards pertain to Grand Fia and Standard. Nice. Okay, I'm glad Grand Fia is getting some love. He still has some fans out there. The Rose's Blessing is a normal order. Ooh, you forgot the little marks over on that side. So it's a normal grade 3 order. Play this with cost counterblast when retire 2 rears if you have a Grand Fia. Choose one of your front row rear guards. It gets a critical into undetermined, which you'll probably want to... Okay, so, ooh, that's actually... that's a cool idea. Okay, but hold on a second. If you did not ride or Persona ride this turn, search your deck for a Grand Fia and its different card name from your Vanguard and shuffle and activate Persona. Oh, we're going to get a new Grand Fia in a second. Okay, so before we read that, though, let me remark something that's really smart that Steam Bud did here. Giving the Vanguard to any of the front row... giving the crit to any of the front row units is a very intelligent design philosophy, because it gives you choice based on what you think is going to be more pressuring to the opponent. You can either give a crit to something that's going to swing twice, right? But you could also give the crit to the Vanguard. And the reason why giving the crit to the Vanguard might be more meaningful is that it's a bigger attack. So if you have reason to believe that your opponent may not have like PGs in their hand, giving it to the Vanguard is going to be far more devastating, because with all the rose markers under like your rose token, you could just burst them out with a huge attack. I mean, Grand Fia is able to get up to like the 50, 60, 70Ks in terms of attack power. That's insane. So really good card there. And this giving Persona ride as long as you did not ride or Persona, also intelligent. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. This also retires 2 rears with the CB, so it's also perfectly cost. Cool. Lord Grand Fia, Protector de Jardin. For all of you Baron de Fleur people, don't worry. We're not going to get French attacked by a generic synchro. You know, this card isn't going to go haunt you in your sleep. He's not going to get banned. I hope not. Normal unit, Persona Ride, Twin Drive, yeah, all this stuff. This may only be written on a grade 3 Grand Fia and its card name. Oh, they gave it like the mask unit clause. Act once per turn. Soul Blast, retire 2 rears. Call plant token to draw a card. Okay, so you Soul Blast to convert 2 to 2. Bind a grade 3 Grand Fia from Soul until the end of the opponent's next turn. Your opponent gains all skills of the your Vanguard gains all skills of the card bound for the cost, and your Noblesse Rose tokens cannot be retired chosen by your opponent's card effects. At the beginning of your next turn, before you stand, ride the card bound as... Oh, okay. You're giving resist to the Noblesse Rose token, and that's super cool. So now you're not inclined to get rid of that thing in a panic at all times. You can safely build up to it and feel secure in your decision, unless there's particular matchups with column wipe, right? That's a cool, intelligent idea. This doesn't give you the Rose token, so it's also meant to only work if you've already utilized the effect of Grand Fia, or if you've adopted the effect of Grand Fia, which means that you can do the token that way, which is another Soul Blast. You're gonna have to need to maintain Soul, but it's a fine cost to like subsist upon, because there's like ways of building Soul in Stoic K now, which is so ironic, because in the beginning, like Magnolia and stuff had huge Soul problems. So okay, this is a really good skill, and you're able to just build upon what you do more. I'm a little surprised that this actually ended up being a little bit more defensive especially after the crit here and the sort of the mass thing. I was expecting a little bit more offense here, but this is giving Granfia something that it honestly did need, so that's cool. Little hydrangea. Oh, that's cute. So it's a normal grade 1 with normal stats. Auto on the auto on the rear guard or guarding circle. I've a Noblesse Rose token on the back row center with 4 or more plant gauges, which is more likely than ever if you protected it. This unit gets 2k and 5k. Okay, so 2k power, 5k shield, so it's a 10k booster at all times. Good for your rear guard grade 3s, and 10k shield is always nice and standard. If this unit on rear circle is retired by the ability of your grade 3 Vanguard with Granfia and its card name, easy enough, you may call a plant token in rear circle to build up another gauge. These are my first ever custom cards that I come on the win, so criticism welcome. No, man, I'm not gonna cap. Your first attempt kicks ass. These are great. Perfect cost, really good effect with versatility in how you choose to apply it depending on the scenario. Perfect condition to get the persona ride and make this more searchable, which is really nice. So this feels sort of like Mask in a way, but it's positive and it's also more consistent than Mask as long as you got this order going for it. Really, really good. And then on top of that, you're getting a strong defensive benefit that the deck direly needs. And this is more defense with a minor bit of power, but more defense and even more ways to get markers, which is everything that Granfia is about. I have no complaints. This is cool. If this came out, I would so do a fight night on this crap. Hell, man, freaking, I think like this would be this would be a great deck to do a custom card fight on, right? It's just take the Granfia base, put these 3 cards in there, and see where we go from here. And of course, I'll have to like put in some images for them, but that should be easy enough, right? Super, super cool. Really well done. We end off on a really high note. If you guys do like Granfia, right? Like all you Granfia goons, let me know what you guys think about this particular like order. Like, would this fix Granfia? Would this improve it by a wide margin, or is it just like a small improvement, or hell, even a side grade? I'm not quite sure. I'm not super knowledgeable. The boy Gear Shift, he was the dude who was more on Granfia, if anything. He's also just a Neos guy in general in some ways. So I'm sort of kept in the dark somewhat, but I know the basic idea of the deck and what it does. So my personal take on it right now is this is a pretty nice upgrade that isn't huge, but it's fun and it shores up the weaknesses more than anything. That's cool and that's good. Alrighty. That's cool and that's good. Yeah, obviously you're being redundant, Josh. So that's going to do it. I don't think I have the mental capacity to read any more customs today. As you guys tell, I'm a little bit out of the loop right now. Actually, just to be a little bit fast, because I'm going to be a heavy few extra days, I am recording this one right off the back of the second installment of this season, so hey, I've been reading these for a while now. I'm starting to break down from it, but still, this third installment, really, really cool. Like, there's really nothing that I can complain about for the most part. Don't get me wrong, we started off with the Max Dragons, which were like kind of wicked, and I don't know, you don't like these too much, but we do have Clarence is coming in and with some really cool premium G inspired support here, which feels pretty damn flavorful, and I think these could, honest to God, actually see good play in premium, at least at the rogue level, which is cool. The D quick start bosses are all perfect. Absolutely perfect. No complaints about these. The bomb archetype is super unique. They take a new spin on retire-centric control in a way that makes retire-centric control unavoidable. It's not as punishing, but it's also unavoidable, so your opponent has to fall into you. So it's an intelligent way of shoring up the weakness of retires, if you will. And we are going to get back to this later. Trust me, man. I'm not gonna ditch you this time around. But yeah, Bastina, really cool archetype as well. And Steambud, yeah, good Granfia stuff. These almost all hit. You guys did wonderfully here. Super impressed by all of this, honestly. And a few of these felt like even kind of like peak relative to the season, which is kind of trippy, not gonna lie, right? But I love some of these to no fault at all. It's amazing. Alrighty, I'm gonna stop showering praises because I'm gonna sound like a broken record. I've already done it plenty, so we'll just end it on that. If you guys did like this, then go ahead and catch up on the season so far. Like I said, we've had 2 installments so far, so catch up on that. And to the previous custom card seasons, if you do like the series that much and you want to go review some of the past cards, a lot of good ones and also unfortunate ones there, but entertaining, I would say, to all of them. But if you're looking for other kind of Vanguard content, then look no further. We've got tier list, top 10s, fight nights, anime reactions, the whole shebang. So check those out. And if you like what you see, consider leaving a subscribe and turn on the notification bell for next time I upload a video. And with that said, take care. God bless.